Alqubit, IT as an expression of art.
Hello world! Welcome back to my live production. Today very interesting, exciting, relevant topic. vMix plus OBS, that I love both of them. What is the thing in details? I have installed it, I have begun to test vMix, and I have fine-tuned it basically immediately, but I had to do few things to set it all up and running, and I am absolutely at the top of the top. I'm having my super source emulation as I was having in OBS, and it is perfect. I have fine-tuned all the inputs, outputs, audio levels, and I have discovered basically everything. It is vMix is a good luxury family sedan that is stable, luxurious, good for professional broadcast workflows, but it hides completely the technical details for the good parts. Starting from the limited showing actually the statistics of what's going on. It is basically only this thing, and all the features of the live stream is hidden. Basically, it is on purpose for the people that are doing broadcast and don't want to deal with technical stuff. And it is covering very well everything, doing the things on the background. There are a few things that I consider limitation at this point, but in respect of OBS. But it is absolutely very advanced broadcast solution. Nothing to say about that. I'm having now recording. If it is opening the details, no. I'm recording in 2 files in H.264 basically at the hyperdeck quality 75 megabits per second, both of them. I have this external monitor that I am exporting it as a next step of my workflow and elaboration. And this was the purpose of my beginning of the test of vMix actually, because I was struggling with OBS to realize one output that is with good video broadcast level that is incapable basically. It is RGB, very bad signal, it is impossible to elaborate any further workflow. It is impossible to record and capture inside DaVinci Resolve. It is impossible to capture inside Blackmagic Media Express. It is generating a very bad quality video without timecode, and it is a nightmare. OBS cannot produce with its built-in video plugin decklink whatever capable quality video output, unfortunately. And this is probably the one biggest limitation at this point of OBS. And instead, vMix has a perfect output with perfect level of the I'm having now. This is the new big biggie in respect of the other day. This is the cards has been shuffled. Now I'm having Blackmagic Decklink Mini Recorder HD, that is basically from Atem Mini, is going into vMix. And I have the signal. I'm having Decklink Mini Monitor 4K, that is basically this external signal that I am outputting, and I'm seeing it here. The purpose of this signal output is everything has begun with this external output that I'm giving it 1080p. My input is at 1080p. I'm live streaming towards restream in 4K because I want to be able on YouTube to use the last advanced codec, yeah. And I'm streaming towards Twitter, X, YouTube, and my LinkedIn profile. And everything is going on and works perfectly. I'm here with my Windows Server 2022. Even though it is declared not supported, it works completely, absolutely beautifully. I am encoding in hardware the 2 recordings in H.265 and the output of the live stream in H.265 4K. And as you see, it is basically idle the CPU and everything, and it works. What is the next step? I have done some findings. The first, if I doing the overlay over the output, overlay of the output over the output. It is going in loop of exhaustion and it dies. And I will show you that it is exactly this. Prepare for the crash. Now I am doing demo effect, it is not going in that way. What is happening? Let me see a little bit. Output. I need to open this. 1, 2, 3. It's why it's not. I have done it just few minutes ago. I will discover it, don't worry. Now, it is going in loop over itself, it crashes the image basically. And this thing that I have discovered, that is unavoidable if you do this error to overlay the output over itself, it's going into loop. This is basically unavoidable, or basically design error or bug that you should not be able. Obviously, if you create the virtual output of the output, you should be able to do the overlay over the output overlay of the output. But usually you should not be able to do this thing. And this is minor thing. Once you know, you are aware, and you are not going to do this error anymore. And it works. Some limitations that I have discovered. If I open, let me open, what is this? I'm considering limitations. Now it is active, I cannot do any. It has changed the properties. It is basically everything is converted from the default is Rex 601. That's a color space. And if you record in ProRes, it is inserting the metadata about Rex 701. Even though I am setting it Rex 601 to Rex 709, if I disable this, it is forcing the improper color space. So you need to flag. For the facility of facilitations of the broadcasters, everything is converted into full level. No, if I set basically at the mini output is limited, I'm pretty sure of that. But if I set the limited, it is basically crashing the blacks. So it is full everywhere for the majority of cases, and you should be aware of this thing. But as many are saying, it just works. But having struggled for a couple of years of with Tata Mini OBS, I'm keeping my manual settings everywhere. And this is the other thing that is Rex 601 by default. You need to set it to 709. If you're recording ProRes or other, be sure that once you import it into DaVinci Resolve, you are doing right click on the footage properties and forcing the input color space for the footage in Rec 709. I have seen that it's inserting improperly Rec 601. Those are things. The other limitation that I'm discovering, I'm considering it limitation. It is master simple sample rate 48K, but it is only 16-bit. If my master's audio slices are only all in 24. If I comparing one with the other, 16 with 24, I can hear definitely the difference. And if you force it in 32-bit float and you forcing it to recording, all H.265 is recording noise. Just done an hour ago all the tests about this. So keep in mind, this is functional limitations for sure. That is only at 16-bit. The other limitation that I'm finding in respect of OBS is not having the possibility to set the color profile of the matrix in how many bits, 8-bit or 10 bits. It is only in 8-bit. I'm not sure if it is 422 by default or 420. But if you're recording in ProRes that is only in software, in vMix, if I'm not wrong of the test that I have done, it is recording and flagging Rec 601 and it is 8-bit 420. The hardware support with NVIDIA. I have not recent NVIDIA. It is Quadro P4000, but it is super supported yet, and I'm having the last updated drivers. And what I'm considering OBS at this moment, precise moment, a decade forward in respect of the support of NVIDIA hardware, support of H.265, because I'm having this card. I cannot do any hardware encoding with the H.265. It is impossible. It is saying you don't have the card that is supporting and everything. You cannot choose the default color space that is in 10-bit in order to force the hardware support in 10-bit that I will show. I can do it pushing it beyond any limit to the absolute extreme in OBS. This part is only missing. 16-bit for the audio, only 60-bit and not 24. And the H.265, all the details of fine-tuning of the streaming capabilities and recording into the local, it's being hidden on purpose to facilitate and not produce a nightmare, usual nightmare that is can be perceived at the Mini or OBS but OBS in the last couple of years has grown on this part of H.265. Now it is absolute top of the top. I'm pushing it to the absolute extreme, and I'm using 1 or 2 GPUs, and I'm capable to do lossless while I'm doing everything else as now. I'm capable to force lossless, and I will do it in real time even now. Lossless H.265 with an incredible detail. It is the killer of the killer of H.265 master. And this is basically, I'm absolutely stunned by the quality of the output. It is very professional, very high level. You can do key and everything with the output, with certain models of decklink, and it will work because it is precise color space. Thing that you cannot do, absolutely not, in OBS with decklink output. It is a trash. So returning to this thing, I'm having here vMix that is working now. What I am showing is vMix. But the big biggie is the next step. The third level that before was at the second level, that it was critical path inside my production with OBS. And it wasn't the end result of what I was producing in OBS. Only my demo of a couple of days ago was only as a purpose to show the system load and how it is feasible and capable to do. But now I'm having input of Adv Mini, the 2 cameras that are perfect. This thing is doing pass-through forced at 24 Hz with its edit capability to read it as a camera source. In this case, 25 frames per second is maintained. Otherwise, my field monitor is forcing 50 Hz for here forward. Now it's 24 here, 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 and here, and via stream. And going forward, I have opened it now, and it is active. As a third step, my output, this external output, is going into Blackmagic Media Express. I can, absolutely can, do very good thing. I can record, and you see the signal that is coming is automatic. It is recovering. If I go into the preferences, you see capture from UV source. With OBS output, it is going into RGB, and it is trashy, absolutely unusable. It is crushed blacks, everything is out, and once I am recording here, inside DaVinci Resolve doesn't have any references. It is playing as it wish, basically skipping 100x. It is not usable, absolutely not recoverable. I can start, for example, now and recording at 136 megabytes per second, the signal that is exiting of my vMix. Unfortunately, I can choose 8-bit because it is unfortunately, it doesn't keep the original 10 bits of Atem Mini. 10 bits 422 Atem Mini as a signal, not as a recording. I'm not recording on Atem Mini. This is the HDMI output pass through, and now we show you what is going on. I'm here, as you see. At this moment, precise moment, it is writing at 125.26 megabits per second with this, because it is uncompressed UV. And I can do the recording on this thing. If I'm going and open where I'm recording those here, video media express, it is recording here. If I'm with media info, another software that is beautiful, and I'm exporting the properties, you see it is writing in this moment on this file that is constantly closed. At the difference of OBS, the difference of vMix that doesn't close constantly. It is constantly growing as it is inside Hyperdeck, inside Atem Mini, and inside other things from Blackmagic. You see, it is 1140 megabits per second. If you divide by 8, it is exactly what we are seeing here. And it is V210 UV that is uncompressed, and it is 10-bit, and it is 422. Obviously, it is doing empty padding from 8-bit to 10-bit. Hopefully that 422 is present. And it is generating an incredible bit per pixel of 21.33. This master raw level, obviously without metadata and everything. And I'm capable to do this if I want, as a third stage. I will stop it just to change the thing, because I'm having 3 use cases. One is Media Express. The second is DaVinci Resolve Studio, that I'm capable to capture inside this process, that I will restart the capture. It doesn't charge 0. The CPUs and the GPU. Because, why? Because it is using completely the Blackmagic IO device, that in this case is Intensity Prof OK, and it is writing directly into the buffer. It doesn't charge, it doesn't kill the machine in any way and form. I'm absolutely capable to do and exaggerate whatever I want to exaggerate. This is by itself absolutely, and it is writing on the hard disk at 126 megabytes. Hyperdeck 75 megabits, that is 10 megabytes. This is 12 times the hyperdeck top quality, uncompressed. And this is the demo big biggie. In case with the good quality broadcast level, video level, the color space inside Media Express is not crushed, it is super correct, and it comprises even the time codes. If I use the output of the OBS, whatever the changes I might do, it crashes the color space, everything. It is a trash, complete trash. And let me show in again. Where is it? Media Express, the first and the second one. We have here should have, never know, but the demo effect. But I should have a perfect time code included, and I have the perfect metadata about the color space. It is uncompressed, it is lossless, it is 10-bit and everything I am capable to do with this beautiful invention of mine with the third stage of the integration. And the system is stable, I don't lose anything. And this is one that I can do. I will close it. It will kill my output, and this will switch this thing will freeze or become blank. I will close the Media Express. It is not at any critical path, it is blank, as you can see. I will open now I will open DaVinci Resolve. And now we begin to capture in real time without any interruption in ProRes 10-bit 422. And now we do the same thing with the high quality that I can do. This was the purpose of my super test that I have begun to introduce, the vMix basically. And it works as it should work. Absolutely. Everything is good. My GPU is absolutely not involved with this thing. I'm opening here my test of before. I'm opening it here and I'm starting the capturing. You see, in real time, I don't have, yes, this is slight movement of the GPU, but it is nothing. I'm having the settings. I will disable here the metadata. And now you start to capture in ProRes 422 high quality 10-bit. And let's start the capture. And you see, the GPU is not involved, zero. And I'm able to record the output of vMix in real time, super quality, much better than ProRes that is inside. ProRes is a joke inside vMix. It is in software with all my cores and 2 Xeon processor. It is going into 40%, and it is 8-bit, and it is 420, and it is a trash. Let's say it. This is perfect ProRes, DaVinci Resolve, and you see it is counting and it is going on. And nothing has changed. Let me open here. It is already open. Of Media Express, this is not anymore of any importance. I'm going under DaVinci Resolve capturing. And I'm going, this is the file, actual file. If I do media info, it is appearing here, and I will choose text. And it is writing. I cannot see the properties now because it is not closing it constantly, it is writing. I will stop the recording in order to see the properties. And I will show you that it is best of the best quality of file. And this can go forward and grow whatever it is. My quality is totally sustainable, and capability to write. I'm writing 2 files of the vMix. That is nothing. It is basically nothing. This is writing 22 megabytes per second, DaVinci Resolve, in ProRes high quality. vMix is generating hardware H.264 8-bit 420 1 and 2 because I have set it to use file 1 and file 2 recording in the same time as a backup, and it is doing in 40 megabytes per second. It is nothing. It is sleeping basically. If I'm going to the CPU, it is nothing. Let me return. Let me show this. That is better to show the properties. DaVinci Resolve is using partially more of the CPUs, but it is not in software, I suppose. It is writing on the buffer of the same intensity prof. Okay, because I can push it even further and it stays there. Let me close the writing of the file, stop, in order to see the properties. I'm going with the same media info. It is free. It is absolutely, you can search and find it. I had my ProRes 422 high quality variable 1080p, otherwise it is multiplicating by at least 3 times 0.4. 186 megabits per second, which is absolutely reasonable, with the beautiful bit per pixel 3.5. The other was 23.3. It is many times more. Exaggeration, much more. Uncompressed with the, and I'm having all the metadata. Rec 709. I'm having PCM 32-bit because DaVinci is doing that way, float bit, 32 float bit, and I'm having included the time code, and inside DaVinci it is already it will break the capture, but who cares. I can open this. You cannot see hear the audio because it is on my desktop, not included here. But it is absolutely ProRes in real time recorded. And you can see the audio that is coming from my speakers. And this is another way that you can use it and have super professional, high, top level ProRes if you want, or other, even uncompressed. All the properties that you might come into mind with the DaVinci Resolve, and it is the properties that are set under capture and playback. You choose here whatever codec you might have in mind, uncompressed, compressed, and everything, and you can capture and record. And now it's in real time basically what is exiting the vMix is inside DaVinci Resolve. This is DaVinci Resolve. I can where is the info? This is DaVinci Resolve Studio, the last version 21.04. And I can close it and I can show you the third solution. It's not ended here. The third solution is I will open OBS as a third stage. And now we record. You see, I'm having OBS with my super optimization. What I was saying before as a limitation in vMix, that there is no possibility to force the color format as it is here. If you have the hardware that you can choose 10-bit, I have forced 10-bit of elaboration, and in this case I am capable to do H265 10-bit 420 with all the specs at the top, and entering here inside the output that is recording. I'm live streaming from OBS with NVIDIA with the same card that is vMix is saying you don't have the card. I'm having the last version of the drivers, 582 point, I don't know what was, let me see, under E, where I was downloading them. It is here some place, and I have absolutely the last driver, NVIDIA driver for the NVIDIA that supports CUDA 13 and everything. This is what is behind, very behind vMix. They prefer the stability, I can understand. But there is, I have here the possibility to choose whatever I might have in mind. Constant quantization profile, constant bitrate, variable bitrate, lossless, and I am recording now. I will start the recording in lossless, what is entering into the OBS, and I will show you that I'm recording at 200 megabits or 300 megabits with the top of the settings, H.265, lossless, NVIDIA support, and it works. Because this part has been developed in an excellent way. What is the weakest point of the OBS? This BS here. I'm having currently on the machine Intensity Pro, Decklink, and etc. etc. It doesn't work. Whatever you're doing, change it shifts the color space if you set it in 4K or 1080p, but it is trash anyways. It doesn't work. I will start with we push the button here, and you see I am in lossless recording in real time inside OBS that is entering my signal, that I can see the properties and fine tune them. 10-bit UV rec limited. If I force it in full, it is breaks, it is milky. And I will show it, set it limit, because it needs to be limited. Everything is hidden in vMix because they don't want engineers, system engineers, they want broadcast engineers that usually don't have the knowledge, the time, the desire to deal with all those things. But I want to be able to do, when I have the knowledge, to push it beyond any limit. Even in lossless, given the fact that it is static for the majority of the thing, it is not so high. And now we reopen here at what speed it is writing. It is nothing. It is at this point 61 megabits per second. It is around 10 megabytes, more or less, 8 megabytes, plus the recording of the others. And I am able to do this as a third stage because the output of the vMix is very high quality, and it permits me to do with consistent color space, with consistent levels, included audio that is perfect because it is digital, and it works end to end. And this is the third solution, basically, that what is exiting of vMix as a HDMI Blackmagic D-Link mini monitor 4K. I can push it even in 4K, but it is pointless to overdo without it keeps the system stable and in equilibrium, even if I push everything in 4K. But my source in 1080p. This is 1080p because I don't need to have 4K on system that cannot provide 4K. If I need 4K, I'm using Intensity Pro, this one that is 4K. This is 4K. I can push the output in 4K. What I don't like. I'm now streaming towards Restream, and it is more or less good quality, because I don't have the control of the live stream inside vMix at the level that I would prefer to have. It is going down 4K. You cannot have it chooses too many things to do by itself, and it works for the majority of parts of 99% for the broadcasters, and they're saying it is robust, it works. But for the 1% that you want to push it beyond the limits, push it the envelope above and beyond, I'm not capable to do it. It's doing with its thing. And the maximum thing that I can do is to see it here. Refresh. There are no statistics. I'm here seeing here that the stream is 4K by hardware, and it's not giving me dropped frames, not giving me zero properties. And there is no way to do except there is one place here that is the streaming log file in real time, that you can see what is going on, but not in real time. This is what is given vMix about the it is 5,100 kilobits per second. It is so and so. It is hardware. It is 4K. It is U420, and so and so and so. But it is the log file. It is on purposefully. They have hidden everything about the high level to push to the nerds. Nerd stuff is hidden. The nerds cannot do anything here. No nerd stuff. And everything works beautifully. Yes, it is very good system, very robust. Obviously, it has much more functionalities that for my purpose and workflow I will never use, at least for now. I will never use what is the vMix call inbound, the PTZ, the NDI, absolutely not, Zoom calls. But for the broadcasters, it's absolutely an enormous advantage to have it. And I appreciate, and I am showing off that there are things, everything is consistent, everything works. The weakness of vMix is the audio 16-bit, not the possibility as inside OBS to choose the color format in bits, not to use the last advanced, super detailed possibility to fine-tune the local recording and push it beyond the limit. And for the streaming, I'm not streaming from OBS now, but when I'm streaming from OBS, I'm streaming towards YouTube. H.265, recording locally in H.265, streaming with my non-existent bandwidth, but I can do the bitrate and maximum and fine-tune it. Think that vMix is optimizing for you, you cannot. And I'm having 10 bits. And when YouTube is seeing 10 bits 4K, it is using a V1 and VP1, the advanced codecs that are absolutely the quality possibility to ingest your live stream with much better quality. And you have the advantage of H.265 that with the same bandwidth you have double the quality optimization. This is absolutely, and I'm having here, I don't have skipped frame, I'm having here 2.5 milliseconds of rendering. And I'm having here the same thing, 2-3 milliseconds of rendering with everything, double recording, external, everything here. Plus, obviously on the system, now I am having OBS with my lossless recording. And let's go to see the properties of what is writing. It is recording on the other very efficient hard disk. No. I'm here. Let me see if it is giving me the properties, so I need to stop it. And it is already at 5 gigs and 6. For the few minutes that I'm you see 5.6, and it is basically 10 megabytes per yes, because it is closing the file. You see 70 megabits per second. It is the same quality in this moment as basically hyperdeck quality, like, but it is H.265. It is 10 bit, it is high profile, it is high of the high. And it is 1080p, otherwise it will be for 240. Not, I have done all the cross test. It is U420, 10 bit, and it is given me for H.265 lossless. It is not written, there is no, when it is uncompressed, it's written lossless. This is the zero profile for the H.265, which is really lossless. Cannot be better with this. It doesn't charge anything of the GPU because this processes with the GPU. I will show you that it is not involving the GPU, because when you do the lossless, it doesn't charge much of what is necessary the system, because it doesn't generate the compression. It is writing the minimal directly into the buffer. If I switch from lossless to, I will show you. If I do, now you see it is around here 21. This is the original NVIDIA GPU utilization. The system, the operating system is seeing something more because it is summarization of the code and everything. If I stop the recording in OBS now, that is lossless, what is happening? A micro lowering of 4% basically. Here has been a little bit, but it is nothing. It doesn't load charge the system when it is lossless. I will do now it has stopped. I will set now H265 recording, not lossless, but constant quantization profile. I will set it at 5. That this is what I'm usually doing. But when I see that with lossless, the system load is even less, only the space occupation could be more, obviously, because it creates bigger file. This is a decade forward in respect of vMix possibility to leverage the NVIDIA hardware H265. For the other things, obviously, everything is, but this is big with OBS is beyond. Now I'm starting with profile 5. You see, it is returning a little bit more. And it is compressing much more. Before was 70 megabits per second. Now it's 28, 27 because it is compressing. And the system will be a little, we have a little more resources. This spike. The GPU has at least, it is a little, this thing that is a little more, but being in hardware end-to-end, 10-bit, it is transparent. I can set it. I'm usually what I'm producing. I'm producing in 4K. Now, what is the setting? I'm recording in 4K. Now, the setting is probably, it is disabled upscaling that I wanted to test. This is what is usable, super useful, to do cartridge shuffling of the what is supposed to work. I was everything was stable, but I wanted to validate if actually the YouTube is leveraging the 4K, and it is actually leveraging, because when I'm streaming with my findings from the other day, when I'm streaming in 1080p, even when what I have thought that if I set here lossless, it is keeping AV8 or VP8 or AV1. Initially it keeps it. After that it's downscales and it transforms again in AVC1. That is the worst codec that you can have on bendings and everything. If I keep 4K in streaming, and once I'm upscaling here, I'm setting upscaling in OBS, and I'm setting upscaling here, and I'm setting upscaling into recording. Being consistent, the same process of encoding, it is stabilizing the system and facilitate that I have always 0 missed frames. I don't have missed frames, never. I don't have skipped frames due to recording lag, memory. When I push, if I keep it at the in 4K, if I keep it in that way with the constant quantization profile of 5, it is feasible. It is recording with 440 megabits per second. If I push in 4K with the lossless profile, it is not sustainable. OBS is not optimized to the point that it can keep with 1100 and something megabits per second. It is starting to build in a memory usage skipper frame. Once it is destabilized, this system is gone. You cannot recover from there. It's starting to missing during the live stream. It's starting to skipping into the recording, and this is trash after that. So I need to calibrate constantly, dynamically with a multi-parametric settings input and output in order to everything shifting. It is system stabilization, that servo mechanism, the mechanisms that they're shifting around the process of stability, moving different parts, and basically this is what I have obtained with my configuration. And I can stop here the recording, and this is the third stage that with everything on, it works. And the second one that I can see the properties now. H.265 10-bit 422, perfect. Now it's not in 4K, but I can do it, force it at the edge of constant quantization profile of 5. Even to 1, it still works, it's still sustainable, it can do it, because it arrives something like 300-400 megabits per second. It's still going on and it is capable. If I switch to lossless, the system is lost. But this is the advance. I'm considering a big plus of OBS at the current moment. The recording and mastering, locally recording and live streaming is a decade forward of vMix on H.265. Even on H.264, but I don't use. Basically, this has remained on this point of view behind. All the rest is forward, much more robust, much more professional, with every advantage. And this is my mega findings, my mega tests. And it's been a good thing to learn to develop, to research and develop. And once you know what they're doing, every system you can discover and acquire the high level of awareness and consistency. How a couple of days, today I have started in 5 o'clock in order to prepare and validate every aspect, and I have discovered one. I have discovered that if I push it in the audio in 32 float bit it is recording noise. It is unrecoverable inside H.264. If I push here, audio, if I push here the master 32, and it is forcing the format in 48 kilobit 32 float bit, it is recording noise in H.264, and it is not recoverable inside DaVinci, inside everywhere, inside VLC. It's noise, real noise. Shh. And this is very beautiful, very, very fun. I hope it is usable, and please keep in mind that if you do this thing on the output, and you do, let me do the layer, what is overlay on the output. It is going in loop and it crashes itself. This is something that should be prevented in some way or form. How it could be prevented? It could be prevented if I set the 2. It should be prevented. This is the design inconsistency. It should be disabled on the original output. If you create virtual input, probably it will not enter into the loop. It should be tested. If I create virtual input and I'm putting it I'm with this virtual output. Let me see if I can crash the virtual output. No, it's not usable. It should be disabled by design. Let me open here. What I'm stating, it should be disabled by design, the possibility to overlay the output. It goes constantly into the loop in exhaustion of itself. This is the design inconsistency of the... It should not be possible to do overlay of the output. Even the second level of the virtual output that I have created, it creates the same effect. And let's stop here. I have said everything what I had to say. Thank you very much. Let me return here. Yes. I have obviously the configured. Let me show. I can still show something that I risked enormously to close the the live stream. I can show that I have configured very basic. Now it's excellent. Now it considers 4K or whatever it is inline. It works in 4K. This is 4K. I'm inside bit focus. Basically, those few buttons that I have created, I have reactivated my 15 buttons dedicated for this, because on the other is stable, and I'm using everything. I can do the fade test, and it switches here. and I will retest it, and it will goes back. Everything is working. The bus integrated with what is needed to be done with Bitfocus companion, and everything is high level here. High level broadcast, live production, 4K. And returning here, it is going fair, whatever it's doing. So let's close here. Everything is working, everything is perfect. I have proven that it could be pushed to the edge. Especially OBS. I can push it beyond the edge. I can absolutely kill it. And this is everything. Thank you very much. We'll see soon again with other things. And follow me, subscribe to my channels, listen to my technology guidance. That is everything with the engineering methodology, end-to-end validated, bit by bit, byte by byte, crash it and beyond, and returned into the function. Thank you very much. See you soon. Bye.